okay? So this is the beacon where you should uh, take those digital courses that we were talking to. Okay? It's where you take the post-class assessment. It's where you provide the course evaluation. Okay? So this will be our lab topology for today. You do not need to memorize that. Just take a look in that. Okay. Real quick, you are not obliged to memorize that at any way. Let me show you some things uh, that are important for you. I'm going to log into Beacon. So, okay, I'm just logging in. Okay, I know. Just did not receive the authentication code. Okay, now I'm there. Okay, so this is the beacon. Okay, it's where you navigate to some digital learning knowledge. I'll teach you how. Okay, for example, you can just go to the right at the top and click on search and type EDU 380. It will bring digital learning courses regarding EDU 380. Okay, that are important for you to know before taking the test. You can do the same with EDU 318, for example. You can do the same with EDU 210. Okay, so this is the beacon where you take online courses. What more is interesting for you to know? Credly. Creditly is where you grab the badges that you want from any vendor, okay? Okay, hold on for a while, please. Okay, I'm back. We just logging to it now. So this is where you receive your badges, and after the course, you'll be receiving one. Okay. For example, let's see my badges. So those are my badges, for example. Okay. This is where you earn whenever you took an online credential that has a badge attached to it or the person view credentials. Uh, you can go in here and receive a badge. The certificate that you are about to take is this one. I just got it back regard from Paloalto Networks, proving that I took that certificate, and it keeps showing in here kind of forever. The only thing is that your certificate expires, and it will. How do I say that? And by the time it expires, it will be sending you an email. Okay. So this is the Gradly. Let me show you set metrics also. Okay. So this is the matrix where your certifications and accreditations come. See from here, you can see all of the certificates that you want. Okay. Okay, let's just go back to this. Let them know that I show you everything that I wanted. Okay, also like every course, I do have some questions that I usually do for students to help them fix in their mind the what we have been telling you so far. Okay, we'll be talking about product pillars, uh, the high level flow logic, and the use case development. Okay, So what will be the learning objectives regarding this course? Okay, identifying the four pillars of Cortex XOR functionality, map concepts and high-level features to each of them, identify the roles to other product features and technologies. So this is the module number one, just an overview regarding we are talking about, okay, right now. So what are the product pillars that we have in place? The Cortex XOR can either help you with case management regarding be able to fill up cases whenever you have an instance in place and how people contribute in those cases in real time. So with 2 clicks, you have your storage guy with Oracle guy with your Linux server guy all together on the same call because you call them to the case. Okay. We also have automation and orchestration. Whenever talking about Cortex XOR, the heart of the XOR solution is automation for sure. And we have threat intel management. We have our own Paloalto Networks knowledge base fed by us. Okay, that this is this threat intel management. So, what are the high-level solution design? So basically, you feed the tool with data. Okay. You have all of the 4 steps that I just told you guys. Okay, and you can have by the data we feed, we can have Cortex XOR activating things, sending message to users. Hey, your environment is under attack or something like that. This is possible of doing through an Cortex XOR integration. We can warn people. We can send logs and details to tools. Okay. But remember that Paloalto Networks Cortex XOR solution is a data-driven solution. Okay. So because it is a data-driven solution, you need to put data in it for it to work. Okay. For you to activate a playbook, you need to have the data that activated that particular playbook. So what are the roles? I talk about the roles, but they are not the roles that you have under the tool, but the theoretical roles that people from your company should have to have the Cortex XOR up and running. Okay. So the very first role that we are talking about is the IT administrator one. So this guy is just responsible for the server itself, nothing related to how do I say that? Nothing related to the application itself. Okay. It maintains the server, it updates the kernel, it updates the OS. Okay. This is the IT administrator. And what does the SecOps analyst does? The SecOps analyst is the guy responsible for the guy responsible for adding people to the instance, grabbing the storage guy all together with the Oracle guy, creates and deletes the access. So John has now access to tool, and Josh is not working with us anymore. Let me delete him. Okay. He can open up tickets. He's able to instant tickets. I mean, okay. So this is the Stack Ops analyst. And what is the SOAR engineer? The most experienced guy in the team, the one responsible to build the layouts, the automation, the playbooks, and everything needed to make it work. Okay. So let's go through the high-level flow logic. During the whole course, we'll be explaining each step of this. Okay. Done. So the very first thing, remember that I told you guys this is an instant-driven tool, is to ingest instant. Okay. So the first thing when talking about an XOR tool is to instant data. Okay. Then the tool should create an instant object. Then we should be classifying, not we ourselves, but the tool. Okay. Should be classifying that instant as an instant type. So at this particular moment on step 3, by having an instant type, so I just received an instant. This is a phishing instant type. You have a phishing playbook, you have a phishing layout, you have phishing things that do and grab the correct data over the instant that we just saw. Okay. We have mapped data to fields. This is usually done at the layout builder. Okay? And, this map data to field, in fact, is regarding by receiving the raw data, extracting the information you need to make it work, to make the solution up and running and working. Okay. Then we have what we call pre-processing. Okay. Then we have the process instant where we attach playbook. We have an indexing instant pages. Then our SecOps analysts manage the instant. Okay. If everything is okay, we have it on close. A script that can run by an analyst or automatically. Okay. Let me do one thing. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about use case development right now. So how instants are created? That's the first question that we should be questioning ourselves whenever we are getting in touch with the tool or we are developing huge things in the tool. Okay, so you should be asking yourself how instants are created, see if there is any easy going integration that you can how do I say that you can integrate. Okay. What systems generate the instant data? Okay. So you need to ask that to see where to grab information from and what to activate after we have that information. What is the data and where and how is it formatted? How instants are assigned to analysts? How is the instant response process that you and your team have? Whenever having an XOR tool working for you, you need to have that well defined. So you are going to be the IT administrator. You two in here are going to be an X4 engineer, and the other two of the team will be the SecOps analyst. Okay, this is something that you can do. Okay. Okay. Uh, so one thing that I forgot to mention to you, we'll have labs on a specific modules. Okay, let me do one thing. We'll have modules, we'll have labs at the end of most of the modules, okay? And I'll giving you some minutes to do the lab, okay? Usually labs are done right before or right after the pause, okay? But this is not a rule. I'm just telling you that you usually, okay? The most important thing that Palo Alto can tell us regarding the development of playbooks or the setting up of the Cortex Xsore tool is uh, design and develop the things that you want, but with the end in mind, the total process in mind. So if you have the total process in mind, you maybe know from where to grab, what process do I want to run from against what I grab, and the returning part of it. How are we returning that? Are we sending an email? Are we opening up and Slack channel, reporting to Slack? Okay. So at the beginning, we should think just like this. What should you think at the middle of it? Okay. How do analysts they process the instance? What tools are used? Okay. What can and cannot be automated? Okay. What remediations are typically required? How are instances resolved? What are your organization goals? Okay, you should be thinking at the end. Okay, how will you will respond to the data that you have seen on the tool? Okay, so at the very first step, at the very first beginning, we should be thinking about integrations with systems. Okay, we should be thinking at the middle of it integrations with services. Okay, and at the end of it, we should be thinking again integrations with systems, but with development focus. Okay, so this is the most important document whenever developing your own integration, your own playbook. Okay, the beginning in mind thing that I just told you guys. Uh, you should be thinking. Uh, so when developing on Palo Alto networks, you should be thinking about the use case name. What is the purpose of this playbook that you are building? What is the purpose of this integration that you're building? Whenever talking about the playbooks, for example, what is the trigger that will um, activate that playbook? Okay? What will be the classification and mapping from what I see? What will I extract? Okay? And so on. Please, whenever developing, take a look at this use case document. Okay. We also have consultancy services from Palo Alto Networks. Okay. We're talking about Cortex XR, but you also can buy from some partners that have specialists on those on those companies that work with Palo Alto Networks. Okay, this is it regarding this module number 0. I just sent you an email, not right now, but before the coursing start. Something that I have to tell you is, and I forgot, is regarding car text. You should already receive an email regarding Cortex that basically is where your materials are. Okay. Uh, we have labs in there, and we have the same exactly slide that I'm showing you. We have in there also. Okay. So this is where you should be accessing every day before starting the course. Okay. To grab access to the material that we'll be using during the course. Okay, this is the guy. Let's open up. This is how it should look for you also. Okay. You can see that we can have this symbol in here. And when I say, hey, please do the lab 1, we'll be going through in here. Just click. No, sorry, in here. And you'll have plenty information on how to do and what to do. Please pay attention that I sent all together with the email. I sent some non-issues in the lab. Okay, we do have many non-issues in this lab that I sent to you before starting the course. Okay. Please, if you're facing an issue, try to look at this document. Maybe this is a non-issue. Either we have a workaround or we ask you to please ignore that. Okay. So my first question to you regarding this is this PDF downloadable? And my answer is for sure. You can download that, but you can only download 125 pages per time. Okay. And this is where you do it. Okay. Again, how do I access this page? You should be receiving already an email from onsecure@onfulfillment.com. Okay. Second question, does it expires? Material expires? And the answer for that is no. This material is always yours. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do right now is the Discovery Lab. I ask you to please go in here. Read those steps and follow the steps from the documentation, the official documentation, for you to do this lab. But before doing the lab, we'll have our minutes break in case you need. So I'll be starting the counter for 1 hour. Okay, so you have time to take the coffee break and to do the initial discoverment lab. Okay, so always I'll be trying to go here and have the timers counting for you. Okay, so you know exactly what is the right time to come back to the class for us to start that again. Okay. Okay, so I'll be starting the counter right now. You have 30 minutes to for coffee break and more 30 minutes to do the very first lab. Okay. Okay, so time's starting. See you in 30 minutes because right now we're having uh coffee break, and then I'll be back to teach you in case you need anything related to the lab. Okay.
Hello?
Hey, hello. No need to disconnect the meeting. Okay, you can stay in here. Okay, no issue. This is yours meeting. If you need to connect to a meeting or things like that, you can do that also. This is not
Okay.
the issue that you disconnect or do not disconnect. Okay, feel free to do what better suits you.
Okay. We can reconnect, na? Like there is no issue with reconnecting.
No issue with
Okay.
reconnecting.
Okay.
Okay, but
Okay,
no
sounds
need
good.
to leave because we are doing lab or
Okay.
breakouts. Okay.
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 That's
Thank
great.
you.
There's the access to these guide. You're seeing my screen, okay? Yeah. So you have
Okay.
access to the material in here.
No, is there any link for this lab document?
Read.cortex.com.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Read.cortex.com. Let me check. So beacon credential will be work in this, right?
Usually your email address and the temporary password that you received on your email. You should be receiving an email from
Mm,
onsecure@onfulfillment.com.
No, actually, I haven't received any default password or any password on my mail ID. Can you
You
just
check
check?
that email that I said.
lpadil@security.com is my mail ID. So, wait. Context. No, I don't receive any password. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I haven't received any password, Vinicius, for the
Okay.
context.
Okay, but did you receive any email from onsecure@onfulfillment.com?
No, only the one for the beacon one and the training one mail I have received.
Okay. So this is the Cortex app. You need to have access to that. Could you please maybe try to how do I say that? Register yourself in here.
Okay.
Okay, did you register yourself? Hello? Did you do that?
Yes. Yes, Vinicius just now created, and there is no any document in the library section in the core text one.
But did you create with the very same user that you use?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. What is your email address?
L Patil, LPATIL @secureview.com.
Could you please send that on the chat, please?
Yes. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Sent.
Well, did you receive the email from me, the one that I sent like 5 hours ago?
No, Vinicius. I haven't received
Uh,
any mail from you.
because what I can see in here that it's that you're not registered in the course. El Patil. Are you taking this course in name of someone?
Yes, name of the Ajinkya one, but I already nominated and I already log into my Beacon account, and through my Beacon account, I just joined this training. So if if I am not registered to this training, so how come I joined through the Beacon?
I generated the list of the persons of the people who are uh, in the as confirmed in this from the beacon itself, and your name is not in there. But you said you're taking this name of your friend, right? What's the email of the
Ajinkya,
friend?
Ajinkya A Bhujbal @security.com. Let me
Okay,
send you.
so
Yeah.
I probably is the guy that received all access and everything. Let me forward that information that I sent to him, to you.
Actually, the thing is, we just send a mail to nominate the course to me, either Ajinkya. I think so that might not be get changed, because previously it just assigned that this training is assigned to the Ajinkya, but after that, as he is not available, so we just send a mail to assign back the training from
Oh,
Ajinkya
no
to
issue.
me.
Okay, no issue.
Yeah.
Let us send you an email. Please check that you received.
Yes, got it. Receive your mail.
Okay, now I'm sending you the lab guide. Okay. Uh, I sent you over the chat, the lab guide, and some
Fine.
information to you on your email. Okay. So in there you have the user to access the lab. Okay. In
Mm-hmm.
case you need, you can use that. The URL that you use to join the lab would be grab that CW scene.nwlabs.net. Just log into with the username provided on the email. Okay.
Okay.
Your username starts with an R and ends with a number. Okay.
Okay.
And the password is in the email also. Would you please check that you have access?
Yeah, give me a minute. Yeah.
Well,
Yes, I can access this URL with the username ID for Ajinkya Bhujbal with the
Okay.
username. Yeah.
And the lab instructions you should have over the chat
Hmm.
on the file I sent you.
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to ask Paloalto Networks to change the name in the background for you to receive the Cortex material. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
So right now we are having lunch. Okay. So we have 1 hour and a half to have lunch. Okay. In case you need anything, you can message me. Okay.
Okay. Fine. So, so I need to join with I need to just log in with the username with A Bhujbal, right?
Yes, but there's no reference to his user
Okay.
right now in the lab or anything that you should be accessing. Rather than only the email that I sent, that you should be using his user, the one starting with R and ending up with a number. Okay,
Mhm.
just that. Meanwhile,
Okay.
okay, I need to check with Paloalto Network to send the material for your Cortex uh, user.
Yeah, sure. I think the same has been communicated over the mail with. Give me a second. I'll just tell you the name. Anupama.
Who is this?
Anupama.
I do not
Anupama
know.
Yadav.
I do not know this name. Is he from Palo Alto Networks?
Yes, yes, yes. She is from Paloalto Network.
Okay. We're trying to reach the local ones to exchange that in the background for you. Okay.
Sure, sure. Yeah, fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So lunchtime right now, I'll be starting the counter. Okay. And we'll see each other in 1 hour and a half. Okay.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
No. Hello? No, 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 it's ongoing actually. I think Silva was out of he left the session. He has rejoined the session. I think he'll be starting.
No, I'm here. You guys, do you hear me out? Hello, you guys hear me well? Okay. So, um, on this module, we'll be talking about XOR integrations. Okay, so we are going to have an overview regarding the integration concepts, the types of integrations that we have, either installation and configuration, and integration controls over this EDU 380 course on Cortex XOR 6.8 version. Okay, so on this module, we'll be describing how integrations, commands, automations, and the playbooks they work together. We'll be configuring Cortex XOR integrations for third-party tools, and we'll be defining what we call harmful commands and tell if they either can be or cannot be executed by who or whom. Okay. Let's go down. So we have a huge amount of Cortex integrations ready to be used. Okay. So we have more than 500 Cortex integrations to be used. Okay. They can either be from the type analytics and time solutions, and from the these type, we support Cortex, Fortinet, Microfocus, Exadine. Okay, we do support many of them here. Some of them. Okay. For threat intel, we do support Paloalto networks, Virus Toto, OpenFish, Recorded Future, and so on. For malware analysis, Paloalto Networks also has its layer. Okay, we do support Cisco and many others. So for all of the solutions that we have in place, for all of the types that we have in place, we support more than 4, 5, 6 ones. Okay. How does it work? The Cortex XOR solution. So basically, we have integrations in place
data flow through integrations. Remember that. Whenever you have an integration in place, you can have data in, you can have processing on the tool, and you can spill it out, or you can warn somebody. Okay. Let's take let me try to give you an example. You have a Splunk solution that is feeding Cortex XOR. That data that is feeding Cortex XOR is enriched through the playbooks that you have, through the other integrations that you have, and you can warn someone, you can block some IPs, you can block some user on AD through Cortex XOR. Okay. How does it work, the system architecture? Hey, hello. Is anyone having black screen on me on
Yes.
my presentation?
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes Silva.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do on my side. Hold on. Okay, let's try one more time. If that happens, please warn me through the chat, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we have, as we were saying, we have Cortex integrations. We have commands and runtimes functions that they help enrichment, instant response, and we have incidents created. We have context data. That is something that's a brand new concept that I'm telling you right now. So you have the raw data, that is the data that arrives at the tool, and you have context data, that is basically data in an organized way into an unique JSON object, for example. Okay. And then we have automations, we have playbook tasks, and we have manual analyst command execution.
what are the types of integrations that we have in place? It can either be from system admin, from event ingestion,
It's
or
happening again.
enrichment.
The black screen is coming again.
Okay. Let me go out of the session and rejoin, okay? Okay, please tell me if it happens again, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So we have system admin, we have event ingestion, we have enrichment, and we have response and remediation types of integration. For example, the system admin ones are somehow IMAP, Active Directory. So they are system integrations that helps you through user authentication and messaging, okay? The event ingestion is maybe the most important ones. You can see that it is in green. It belongs to the beginning phase of the of the uh, event ingestion, just like I explained to you on the very first module. And they are usually SIAMs, analytic system, phishing boxes. Okay, you can tell some examples of them are ServiceNow, Splunk, Cortex. Okay, you have the enrichment ones. Usually they are malware analysis services and threat intel. We have Wildfire, for example. We have OpenFish. You have uh, SSL Blacklist. This is Alienware, right? Not Alienware. It's Volt something. I forgot this symbol in here. And then you have at the end of it the response and remediation. Okay, you can block something. You can block a hash, an IP on your endpoint systems. You can block an IP on your firewall. Okay. You can warn someone through this Slack or email. Okay. Okay, so right now we're talking about installation and configuration. What are the XOR use cases that we have in place? Uh, so build your configuration, development, and deployment strategy based on well-defined use cases. That's what Paloalto networks tell us regarding what is a use case. So a description or concept of the workflow, tools, and desired outcomes that are associated with a type of incident or other narrowly defined situation. Basically, this is equal an playbook developed uh, or or an automation developed or uh, an integration developed. Okay, so basically a use case is a set of things that fulfill a goal from your company that could be considered an use case. An use case. Yeah. Usually, when you take Cortex XOR projects, the deliverable part of it is usually a use case. Okay. Just like I said in here, a bundle of integrations, automations, playbooks, layouts, dashboard, and other system elements in the marketplace. So, what are the recommended action for initial deployment of Paloalto Networks Cortex XOR? Have 3 to 5 use cases in mind. For example, I want to password reset uh, the AD user when the system detects an impossible travel. I want to have an automation and response case for phishing. Okay, I want to run basic analysis on some hashes. Okay. The other thing that you should be configuring when developing your use cases is make simplicity a priority. Start with the end in mind and make simplicity a priority. That means, hey, you will not grab uh, the playbook
with less steps possible at the very first time. You will create then with thousands of tasks, hundreds of tasks. Okay. And then after that, you'll have the time that you will getting things better. Okay. Respect that time. So develop and make it better. Develop and make it better. So you'll be defining and assigning roles and responsibility. You'll be setting production goals on minimum viability and follow up with continuous improvement. You use the marketplace to install content packs. You have about 28 content packs that are installed by default. Not all content packs include integrations, but many do. And the installation of an integration means available for instance creation. That's the definition, right? So you have about 28 already installed. You might have seen that on the very first lab by the time we logged in. Take a look at the tool itself. Content pack is basically a concept that includes a playbook, automation, layouts, incident types, okay, incident layouts. Okay, so content pack may or may not include like 20 to 30 items more than one time. For example, the Cortex XDR content pack can include 2 or 3 playbooks, 2 or 3 integrations, 10 automations, 10 incident types, and so on. Okay. So Xsore installs about 50 integrations on the initial deployment. The image OCR and rasterize, for example, they are instantiated by default. Some integrations are not managing the context of a pack. It means it does not belong to a content pack, just like image OCR. Okay, in here you can see, for example, that this Active Directory 1 does not belong to a pack. Okay. And if we have content pack associated, just like this, we have then written in here on the integration itself. Okay. So what can we do when we are on the settings, integrations, and instance? We can either choose to show all the enabled one or the disabled ones. We can show the custom ones that we developed or the system ones. Okay, we can go ahead and show all, or we can show and select category. Remember the categories that we've been through, the tabs that we've been through. We can filter the integrations that we have in here, okay? One thing that we can do, we can upload brand new integrations. We can check the version history of those integrations. By the time we click on update, the version changed. And we can have BYOI that will have a full module for that in the end of the course. That is regarding bring your own integration. You develop something elsewhere. and you bring to the tool. Yeah. Integration details and management. For most integrations, we can either add, disable, or enable instance. Okay. We can configure that. We can duplicate, view source, show comments, or duplicate the integration itself. The comments that comes with Palo Alto Networks Autofocus V2 can be shown if we click in here. And by the time we have this integration up and running, we'll have Palo Alto Networks the ability to type that into an war room, for example. Okay. In here you have the ability of downloading, of checking version history, of editing, of duplicating, of moving to trash. Okay. So what are the common parameters for external integrations? We either have name, destination address, credentials, API key, tuning options, and system option. One thing that is very important for us right now is that definition of fetch, do not fetch. Okay, whenever we have an integration in place, this is a real life example of the ARC site ESM v2. You can check in here, for example, that you need to provide the name. Whenever we have this wildcard sign next to an attribute, that attribute you are obliged to fulfill. We have the fetch, not fetch. Fetch means either allow to or the other two to send or go there and grab it. The word fetch in English means go there and grab it, but in this case, on Cortex Xsore case, it means not only go there and grab the data, but allow the tool to send also. Okay. We can choose what classifier it will be used. If we don't have a classifier in place, we can choose and fixed instant type. How data will be mapped from the raw data to the context data, so we can how do I say that? We can provide a mapper to do this job. Okay, we'll be having a full module for classification and mapper. Okay, we have usually credentials that we do fulfill to allow the tool to go there and grab data. Okay. If we have multi-server parameters, we can fulfill like if we have more than one engine in place. For example, you have branches on your environment, and you have deployed local Cortex Xsore solutions, not for the data not to keep traversing your MPLS connection, and the tool sending logs to through the MPLS. That is an expensive way of sending logs. So for these, we have the ability of deploying engines that allows you to run and made up the decisions locally on the branch. Okay, this is what you do there. We
have some options related to limitations of event ingestion. Okay. Okay, we have an something really helpful here when talking about malware investigation and response. We have what we call in content pack adoption wizard that helps us achieve what we want regarding the malware investigation. So we have tests and percentage of the completed, how much we completed as a thing. Okay, please go ahead, Nick. Nick it.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to understand that during the integration part, API call is happening. How frequently that API call? You were 50 incidents per API call you have mentioned. So, how frequently that API call is happening?
What API call? In fact, in this page that you're talking.
Yeah. So 50 is mentioned, right? The maximum number of incidents to fetch each time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how frequently SOAR fetch the incidents? Is there any time period?
Well, that depends on. This is not configurable in here, at least for the ArcSight ESM v2 integration. Okay.
Okay.
But the fetch is happening at all time. Okay, if we select fetch instance in here, and the maximum number of it is allowed to enter at us is 2000 in this example. Okay, and the instance generated at us is 50. It does not mention anything related to how much time it will allow data in. Okay, because this is not something that you go to the tool and grab the data. This is something that ArcSight is sending us. Okay.
Okay.
Garvit is asking, could you please go
Yes.
ahead, Garvit?
So, can you please explain what is a single engine? We use single engine in the last thing.
Yes, I explained already. Let me try to explain again with different words.
Yes, please.
Remember the branch example that I gave?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a data center where you have your Cortex Xsore server installed.
Okay.
You have a branch office where you have to take some actions, you have to have some instant response, and you have some critical systems in there that needs to either feed the Cortex Xsore or are the ones that need to receive the actions from Cortex Xsore.
Okay.
So the point is, if you have a branch office that needs either have those two types, either system that needs an action from Cortex Xsore or a system that needs to send data to Cortex Xsore, you can have an engine deployed on the branch office. Okay, so that lowers the log traversing on your MPLS connection. Okay?
Yes, good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Garvit. So we can have, by the time we have an integration in place, we can have multiple instances. Okay? For example, I just have Cortex XDR in here, and I have created instance 1,
I have created instance 2. But why have I done that? One use case for that is multiple external accounts. So for example, in my instance 1 of Cortex XDR, I have the read-only access. And on the instance 2, I have the read-write access. Okay. The use case number 2 for that. For example, I have 2 instances on my Cortex XDR also. And this one, I want the engine one, for example, to be the one receiving or taking actions in this logs. And in this one, I want the engine to be responsible for those logs or taking actions in that. So that will be another application for having one integration with multiple instances. And the application number 3 is, for example, we want the integration number 1 to have different classifications and mappers than integration number 2. This is the configuration that I'm talking about, classifications and mappers. We'll have a full module regarding classifications and mappers tomorrow. That's the very first slide that we've been through. Okay, please don't bother about this right now, but you will understand. All good until here? We also have integration controls, integration permissions under settings, users and roles, and integration permissions. Use the search to locate the target objects. Click on the Edit button. It is configured for all instances, all commands per instance, and individual commands per instance. Okay. Users and roles, integration permissions. You can, for example, for the integration image OCR, for all instances, on all commands, I want to give that a role. Okay, that will be part of, let me try to give an example. That will be part of Oracle role, Windows Server role, just like that. Or the image OCR on this specific instance, all commands, I'll get that another role. These two, the Cortex Xsore is a role-based tool. So you have users, each role has some permissions. You attach roles to users, okay? We can define what is a potentially harmful comments. They are basically comments that change configuration or that can start, stop, or reset process. Okay, you can mark under comments. We can mark that comment as a potentially harmful, and we can say, hey, this role cannot run potentially harmful comments. What are they, for example? Comments that wipe things out, comments that shut down important or critical systems. Okay. Comments that delete things. So this is done manually. Okay, we need to go to each comment that we consider then as potentially harmful and check the box potentially harmful comments. Okay. How do we check the integration code? We just click in here and we can see that code. Okay. So we've been through it all. Let me try to give you one thing. I'll be sending you some questions that we have on this module. You answer through the chat, okay? So the very first question, what will happen if you click to disable an integration? That would be C, okay? So the instance of the integration and your configuration information will be retained, okay? So it does not delete anything. You just disable that. Basically, you just stop receiving instance, okay? Which two types of integrations are installed by default? So that would be A and B from ball, okay? Because it doesn't make sense to have it installed by default, all of the Palo Alto Networks ones, because the consumer might not have all of Palo Alto Networks products. But why we would let it install by default and heavy by default? Okay. So the Cortex Xsore is a modular system that you go there and you install the things related to the tool, okay? Um, the integrations. So the point is that you should be doing that modularly as you have the need to. So that's why we don't have it installed by default, all of System Palo Alto Networks products, but we do have some integrations for authentications and communication integrations and system messaging. Okay. The third and last question: in the context of Xsore role-based access control, which is a potentially harmful command? D, you are absolutely right. Okay. So this is we will be having our first lab or second lab. Sorry, that is the integration lab. Then we'll come back to the playbook class. Okay, I'll be starting the module. I'll be starting the counter for 45 minutes. Okay, and you have 45 minutes to do the lab. Okay, I'll be here for you in case you need. That is the integration lab.
Hi, Vinicius, are you there? Hello.
Hi, hello. How are you guys doing with lab? All good?
Yes.
Hello, guys. Do you hear me out?
Yeah, you're audible.
Hey, hello. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, Shiva, we can hear you.
Hey, hello, do you hear me? Okay. The last module for today will be regarding playbooks, okay? So we'll be uh, talking about the engine resources, the playbook functions, and the indicator extraction. On this module, we'll be learn to describe the playbook development process, identify what is required to complete the use case definition, locate the key sources of reference details, procedure guidance, and community interaction for Cortex XO engineers. Identify the types of tasks that you can use in playbooks. Engineer resources. So, how is the playbook development process? First things first, remember the use case definition document. Please fulfill that, define it before moving forward. Then we should create an skeleton playbook. Then we should be creating or customizing the instance type if needed. Okay. Then this is the integration part. This is where our uh, tool comes to life. So then we configure the needed integrations, either to warn somebody, to block something, either a hash or an IP address on your endpoint on your for a solution, or we can choose to enrich the data by asking wildfire virus total if that hash is a good hash. Okay. Create custom fields as required. Fields are the part that shows up in instant layouts. Basically, when you have an field that is written IP, for example, you want to use, you want to have it correctly mapped with the correct data. Okay. Then we should be using classification and mapping. Then we should be creating or customizing instance layouts. Then we should be adding some sort of automation if needed. Okay. So this is the playbook development process. I'm not telling you to memorize each one of them, but you need to exactly whenever they show that to us, you need to have an opinion if this is something acceptable or not. Okay. Again, we're talking about this use case document. So whenever Paloalto thinks something is interesting, that things keep showing up more than one time in more than one slide. Uh, okay, so this is the case of this use case document that I already explained to you. Okay? You need should get familiar with this guy. Whenever talking about XOR, knowing which command, which integration, which argument you should type to have the desired implementation, okay, is maybe the best thing you can do in here. We also have a full site for that, a full web page for that is under xor.pen.dev. We also have script helper. Okay, script helper is a menu inside the tool that helps you find arguments, for example, to use on the either commands or scripts that we are running. Okay. We have the first Slack community. I'm in there. If you want, you can add request connection and then I'll see you in there, okay? So what are the playbook functions that we have in place? So each playbook step, that is one step, that is another step, that is another step, that is another step. It is an it is what we call step. Okay, so those are the ones that use to provide guidance. So the instant type. So the task, sorry, it establishes define instant handling process. How do we handle with the instant? We have ifs and doors. We have follow this path and you execute an enrichment command. If this enrichment comes with bad things, block this hash or block this IP or block this domain, okay? We can have automations add in the task, and when we do, we see an bolt, lightning bolt under the task, okay? We can define SLAs, for example. Let's take this example. This is asking, hey, should I block the IP, these companies' domain because it might seem malicious? If it doesn't happen for some reason in 24 hours where I set my SLA, this step simply does not run and you go directly from here to here. Okay? We have what we call context data. That is the raw instant data stored in JSON format. This is an example of context data. So they work with nested key values just like that, okay? It is typically addressed using basic JSON syntax. And the context data can be extended during the playbook run. It means context data is not a fixed
configuration, not configuration, a fixed amount of information you have. Just when you, it is not okay. Just when you import um, or either fetch that particular data, you have at that particular moment on the very first beginning the context data fulfilled. But that context data can change because another playbooks are running, okay? And until the instant is closed, that context data can feed that same instant. Okay? Otherwise, it will create another one if that first one is already closed. So what are the tasks types that we had? Section header, either manual or configured under the standard. It add tasks from the task library or configure blank tasks format. That's how we configure that. We can set timers for tasks, just like I'm telling you right now and told you on the last slide. And we can specify what will happen when we have an error in play. Should we stop? Should we continue? If so, where should we go? What playbook should we be running? What tasks should we execute? Okay. We have what we call conditions. This is the automation symbol that I told you guys. Okay. So was malware found? Those are examples. Okay. Yes or no. Is there a username to block? Else if do this. Okay. So this is has a huge gain. Okay. It's really helpful, these condition tabs. Here you have something that is fully lived, not for you to lose anything. So built-in standard task means for each item in a list, okay, so that would be IP addresses, URLs, domain, IOCs, okay. And the conditional task is while a conditional is true. Extending the context, the results returned by tasks may not always map to usable outputs. When the data returned is not exactly what you need, you may need to either use the CLI to add the field to help the debug process, or use the playbook task to add a field. So what are sub-playbooks? Sub-playbooks are entirely playbooks that either are downloadable through the marketplace or you develop by your own, okay, that can be used inside other playbooks. So this lowers the implementation time that we were facing Okay, because we can reuse things, right? You can reuse that playbook. When talking about indicator extraction, how does it work? So what are the common indicator types that we have in place? URLs, file hashes, IP addresses, domains, email addresses. Okay. Okay. So if we have, well, and where we can define that, we can simply go to the uh, we can select the auto extraction to take place. It means whenever new instance comes or new logs comes, we're looking at all time to that logs and see if we can do and see if we extract data from those logs or not. We can either enable the auto extraction at playbook level or system level. Okay, system level it is applied for all of the integrations that we have. And the playbook level, it is only enabled for that playbook. And this is the best practice, okay? Because the auto extraction feature does consume lots of resources, okay? Here you go. In busy environments, disabling auto extract to reduce load. Where should we use the auto extract on a system level? Usually when we are running initial configuration, okay, or POC, and we need it for test, okay. So this is an example of indicator extraction match criteria. This is matching an IP address. Okay. You have these huge rejects to match IP addresses. Okay. Where do we check that? Under object setup types, and you see the IP. Okay. So this module is over. I would like you to take the rest, and right after you come back, you will be doing the lab, okay? The playbook lab. Let me see one thing. We have more 2 hours. I'll be enabling the counter for 1 hour and a half. That's 1 hour for you to do the lab, and 30 minutes for you to take your tea break, okay? So playbook lab right now. Whenever you have issues, please message me, okay?
Still hello? Hello? Pramod this side. Hello, Silva. I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yeah, I just want to know that like few of the API is not available. So how can we like we have to go to that website and we have to create API and then we have to use it?
No, in that mail you got the API.
I got it, but
Mon-
like some of the API is not available for IP info. and some more like few IPs are available. API keyword
No, no.
calls.
For IP info and all, you don't want any API integration. Just test it, you will get successful.
Okay, okay, okay then fine. I will try it.
Yeah.
No issue. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Vinicius, are you there? Hello, Vinicius, you there?
Hello?